Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. I'm going to do a 40mm challenge this afternoon, and I'll explain a bit more about that to you in just a moment. But obviously, before we get into the video, please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. Like I say, all of that interaction that you give me helps the channel going forward, and I really appreciate all your support. Thank you very much. But like I say, I'd like to do a 40mm challenge. I've already taken my first image here. I'm just going to swing around and show you what I've taken. Behind me there's a tree just there, and the trunk looks as though it's got kind of a double or even a triple trunk to it. There's just a couple of little cracks that go up the middle of the trunk, and make it appear as though it's more than one trunk. And I've focused on that, focused on the trunk at 40mm f4, so I can focus just on the tree itself and all the background should be blurred out nicely. And yeah, that's the image. I hope you like that. I don't think I'm going to be walking very far this afternoon. The mid-afternoon sunshine shining on the sides of all the trees is lovely around here. So I've already spotted, as I've walked down here, 2 or 3 other shots that I'd like to try and take. And once again, they're going to be at 40mm. So the idea here is to use my 17 to 40mm lens, and just shoot at 40mm every single time. That's the challenge anyway. But obviously I've got to make sure I remember to switch to 40mm every time I try and take a still photo, because at the moment I'm recording at 17mm. Just one more quick disclaimer while we're here. I'm shooting at 40mm on what is a full frame camera body. Those of you watching this vlog who may be shooting with different formats of camera, for example a medium format camera, that will have a larger sensor inside the camera, so you'll have an equivalent focal length to whatever 40mm is for you. And the same goes for those of you shooting on micro four thirds cameras. Your sensor inside your camera body will be slightly smaller than the one that I'm currently using. So again, you'll have to work out what your own personal choice is based on whatever your camera sensor is. I'm going to go and find my next shot now. It should be a fairly easy one to find. I'm quite close to where I want to be anyway, and I think I'm probably going to be focusing in quite a lot on intersections of trees. So that's where the trunk of the tree meets the limbs, as the limbs kind of all spread out to the side. It's going to be quite an interesting one, but I think you'll enjoy it anyway. Our second shot is fairly straightforward as well. I'm kind of standing in the middle of a little road here. It's not a very busy road, so I should be okay, but if a car comes I'm going to have to move my stuff out of the way. In the meantime, I've got this tree here, and just on this side here where the sun is lighting the trunk of the tree, there's quite an interesting shot just as I come around this way. Just up here, just where all of these limbs and branches kind of intersect with the tree trunk itself. And obviously I'm going to be shooting upwards slightly towards the sky, so I've got to try and be careful with my highlights here. But this is going to be quite an interesting shot, and again, shot at 40mm and probably at f4 again, to make sure I focus just on the tree and everything else in the background is blurred out. So I'm going to set up and give this one a go now. So I hope you enjoyed that shot there. Focused very much on that very gnarly section just here on the tree. In fact, I actually found a little piece where there was a bit of a knot in the wood of the tree, just around the side here somewhere. And what I decided to do was focus on that for that shot, which was quite nice. I dropped my ISO right down to 100. And I was able to shoot with a 125th of a second shutter speed. There's no wind here at all today, So if there had been, I would have had to speed up my shutter speed and therefore increase my ISO slightly. But as there's no wind at all, I was able to drop the ISO right down so I could just use a slower shutter speed at 125th of a second, which seems to work quite well. I'm going to make a bit of a move now and see if I can find another shot. I think I've got another idea of a shot I'd like to take a few hundred yards away from here actually, but it's not all that far to walk, so I'm going to make a move. I've got a lovely scene behind me just here. You'll notice I'm actually shooting towards these trees, but obviously the sunlight behind them is backlighting the trees, and as you can see from this video footage, it's not easy for you to see me in some of these shots because of the sunlight from behind me. Obviously it's not a great idea to take a photograph pointing straight towards the sun, but in this case I think I can get away with it because I've actually positioned myself in the shadow of one of these trees, so the tree is blocking out the sun at the moment, but what it is doing for me is all of this heathland and holly behind me is being given a nice bright glow to it, and there's a bit of mistiness in the air as well, so it all looks quite ethereal and beautiful. So I think I'm going to try and shoot this as a silhouette, or at least as close to a silhouette as possible, to try and capture some of that lovely sunshine landing on all the branches and the trees. And the more I look at it, as I look at it, there seems to be quite a lot of depth in this image, so instead of shooting at f4 and focusing on one small area, I'm actually going to shoot at f11 and try and capture as much of this image in focus as I can, maybe even f16, but it does of course mean increasing my shutter speed and the ISO as well, so this could be a difficult shot to take. However, like I said before, there is no wind, so there's nothing moving around, it's just a case of capturing the shot really. So I'm going to set up and take this one now. Two things happened while I was trying to take the image. The first thing that happened was that the sun moved round slightly and was peeping out at one side of the tree just while I was talking to you explaining the shot, and because of that I had a bit of glare in the image, and so it was just a case of recomposing. The shot was still on, but it just meant moving a few centimetres in one direction so that I could capture the shot properly. But also I decided to bracket the images as well, bracket the exposures. So I've taken 3 exposures, one at a 15th of a second, one at a 20th of a second, and one at 1/25th of a second. Now obviously they're all very very close together, and it may be that they don't even look very much different, but I think it might work quite well by capturing the HDR of the image, capturing all that dynamic range within it. I don't know for sure, but there is quite a nice silhouette appearance to the image as well. So I hope you like this image. I'm just walking by the donkey sanctuary here. At the moment there's no donkeys here for the time being, but I just wanted to have a quick stop here because as I walked past, what I noticed was there's a bit of mist and fog hanging around. We kind of rather lie low in here, so there's a bit of mist and fog hanging around, but also there's still a bit of frost on the ground from overnight. Now of course it's late afternoon here now and the frost hasn't melted away at all whilst the sun has been on it, particularly in this area, and there is a little bit of sun on it, and there would have been over the course of the day before now. So it seems a bit odd that the frost would still be hanging around, but that shows you just how cold and misty and murky it is today. While I'm standing here talking to you, I noticed that the moon is out as well. There's these trees along the back here behind me, it's somewhere just above there. I don't know how well you can see that, you're probably not at the moment, but I think there might be a shot there. Obviously it's quite bright at the moment, but I think if I can just catch it right I'll be able to drop my exposure down, shoot at probably f11 again to make sure I've got everything in focus, but also I'll be dropping the exposure time right down. Like I said earlier, there's no wind or anything here, so it doesn't really matter how long I take to take this shot, so I can shoot for as long as I want or as quick as I want or whatever. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a shot of the moon. It probably won't be very big in the image if I'm shooting at 40mm, to be honest, but let's have a go anyway. I don't know if that last image is going to be a winning image or not. I'm not really sure about it myself. I quite like it. I like the composition, and I like the way the trees looked in the image. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll show it to you anyway, because obviously it's an image that I've taken on my walk today, so I think it's important that you see what I've been up to. I guess what I'm trying to say to you with all of these vlogs is it doesn't really matter what your limitations are or what kit you have and what kit you can use, just so long as you get out and enjoy yourself, challenge yourself to take more photos and just try and enjoy nature, and basically just having a good time, really. That's what I do when I'm out and about. I try not to think about anything else and just enjoy the scenery and let my mind wander. It's great for your mental health, to be quite honest with you, to be out and about like this. So if you've enjoyed this vlog, then please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share on anything you've seen, and I look forward to seeing you on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.